I'm pretty strong. I got into powerlifting like 6 years ago, but I've only been playing softball since 2019, and I did not play any baseball or softball growing up.
And you're here, what did you try to want to improve on this weekend?
Hitting for power and being able to hit backside as well.
And how many times in a game have you ever hit a home run?
I have hit one home run, but it was on a 275-foot fence. I've never hit one on a 300-foot fence.
But with Charlie, we don't get much rotation. We don't get much wind on these early swings here. His swing plane is way up. Hit a lot of ground balls. And watch his front leg. It doesn't straighten out early enough, showing there's no coil, no load up. And then the hips have to unwind first, and then the upper body has to unwind second. One thing that Charlie did was that he would let go of the top hand early because once the hips started to rotate, the upper body would almost stop right there. Look at his shoulder. It doesn't open up anymore, and the bat wants to come out of the top arm. So we had to really work on getting the hips to open first, and then watch him right here. Watch it come out off the top arm. The top arm came off early on the bat throw. If you watch Gray Canal, there's his rotation of his hips, which lead to swing starting out. But once the hips are almost open, then the upper body takes over in the second half and you get a lot of rotation. And that forces the hands forward in an arc, and your top hand finishes through. So we want to develop a bit of a coil with Charlie here, stand in front of the mirror, and try to get that lead leg straight out as a bracelet, which is great. Frisbee throw is always very interactive for people, intuitive for them. And watch how he gets a really good twist with this. And he understands that the hands have to come last, but you have to get a good rotation with it. But even here you can see the upper body wants to lag. This is day one. Using the swing simulator, you can use that for almost any drill. You can see his upper body turns, but it stops about 90 degrees. And we want to make sure we over-rotated the second day on that a little bit better here. But that was the main problem, getting the hips to lead open and then getting the upper body to really finish. You can see the upper body almost flows open as an afterthought. We did work on the perfect snap. He did it pretty good. You got to throw the top hand past the bottom hand as you're rotating and flex the wrist some. That creates a snap. Throwing the ball sideways, we get him to load down on the rear hip a little bit better. And look at how that body and the launch angle is better. Try to keep him from drifting ahead at all. Throwing the bat here, want to make sure that we rotated it long enough so that top hand stayed into it. And you can see at the end of day one here, he still has the penchant for wanting to, even though the load is really good and the coil is really good and the loading, everything in that right hip area, he wants to let go of the top hand early because watch Canal, watch his shoulders turn all the way around. Turn, 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 turn. The hips are about done, and the hips actually follow the shoulders at the very end of the swing. If I gave him the heavy Jimmer stick here and then used just a regular bat, we're using a Davis Billadello here, you can see that he would be better with it. But again, Connell's hips open first, and then the upper body takes over late and fast and has a complete rotation, rotates farther than the hips do. Here we are, you with the heavy Jimmer stick again, and watch, it forces his top hand to stay on better because he's got it powered around. You get a little bit of a lean with the upper body. Watch Cannell's head, it's perfectly still, so we want to make sure our rotation is good on that Charlie and we don't drift ahead. But it was a great first day here, and getting a little bit better angle here so we aren't swinging up as much. A lot to simulate the first day, but you did a great job on it. Never hit a home run before. I think you had 4 out the first day, and I think you hit 3 out the second day, and had a bunch other. That's our fences at 305 at Truman Stadium here. And he hit a lot of line drives. The nice thing too is you just didn't go to left field. You powered it to center field. Home run hit out there. What'd you focus on though? That ball went out.
Focused on the hips, just winding my hips back and sort of trusting that my hands will get where they need to be.
And you also aimed at the bottom of the ball.
And aimed at the bottom of the ball, yes. Yep.
Good ball.
Yep.
Nice. The day 2, and we started out some drills, trying to get you to over-rotate them. Have the hips coil and unwind, but then let yourself rotate. See how the shoulders are turning all the way open. The hips start, you can see on the swing simulator, but even here the rope's going to stop you, but you get more of a rotation of the upper body to follow through, and that's going to drive your hand through, keep your hand from coming out early, and you learn that you can hit the top and bottom of the ball exceptionally well. Here's the clicker stick. Just a great finish on it, a great power round, And look how much velocity your upper body has on these as it continues to rotate around. Just night and day between session number 1 and session number 2. On the lower balls, you learned you had to drive it up to keep the launch angle back, but still get a good rotation and get your hand path down to the ball. Now here's the final day. Here's some of the swings. There's a good coil, good line drive to center field. And again, working on hitting the middle or the top of the ball. We hit the middle of the ball here. We have our angle up a little bit on the hand path as we rotate around. And look at the upper body continues to rotate around. Now here, a really nice bomb. You hit about 360. And you aimed at the bottom of the ball. You wanted to give more elevation. And watch here how your hand path and everything is low. Your swing path is at a more radical angle than the ball. Gives you the ability to hit it out. Great job. Finish up with the day 2 swings here.
Yeah, it just takes hundreds and hundreds of swings,
Yeah.
Charlie, but that time there, your hip movement was real nice. Your timing was better.
Yeah.
You wound the hips right and you threw them open. Good. Good. You see that? There you go. Much better rotation. Nice. Beautiful play.
Yeah.
See that?
That.
Pressure hit line drives too nice.
Yep.
Nice.
There we
Charlie,
go.
Look at that. No wind, that might go out.
There we go.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Tell the back, stay there and tell the back camera what you did.
I focused on loading my right hip and then exploding with this arm in an arc and then lifting my back foot up.
Hit about a half dozen balls here
Yeah.
in the range from 330 to 360.
Yeah.
And anyhow, what do you feel like is the biggest difference you made in your swing mechanics coming here?
I'm trying to use my legs and my hips to supply the power and focus on exploding on an arc instead of sort of just trying to stab forward with my arms and chest.
Rather than swinging forward, you try to swing in an arc forward.
Yes.
Forward, but in an arc.
Yeah.
New DeMarini U-Trip red bat.
I liked it quite a bit. I've seen some of my teammates and people in my league use these red bats. They've got a very good reputation, and this is my first time swinging it. I can definitely see why.
We're going to put on a lot of shows in rapid manner here. We had a month here where we put in our corn and soybeans late this year, and I had hip replacement 2 weeks ago. I'm going to do a short video on that. Hit subscribe and keep watching for the episodes, and you can also pick them up on sportstechnique.com under YouTube. Swing Makeover, we're trying to get them updated, all in order with a description, easy way to look for them. Summer lessons here in Wisconsin are open for Brett and I. Brett does swing analysis by video exchange, and also in September we'll open up our 6 winter camps in Florida, 6 athlete camps. There's a waiting list for it, so send me an email. I'll be glad to put you on the list to register. Also on the West Coast, our buddy Steve Imlay, who's been involved in a lot of our swing makeover stuff. He does a teaching at sliacademy.com. I want to thank our main partners, DeMarini. A shout out to the Evil One Bob Sports. We use Evil Rockets and the 44 375s. GT.com, we use the GT and the clicker stick. Great parts of our training. If you want a swing simulator, they're at sportstechnique.com. And also Red Athlete is now with Jason Stubing and Dennis Turner doing sublimation dye, and they're the DeMarini main license maker of their apparel. Do a great job on it, and look at their website. This is fabulous. So hope everybody has a great season. Hit subscribe and keep and watch for the great videos we have coming up, and hope you have a great start to the season.